In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with y'all 2 stocks to keep in your watch list for this week. We're also going to be doing an updates on some of the stocks that I've mentioned in the last video. Alright, y'all, let's dive into the charts right off the bat. We got the NASDAQ, and the last video that I released was on, I believe it was on Wednesday night. It was before the NASDAQ actually went to 19,000. And in that specific video, I told y'all we would get to 19,000. But one thing that I was a little wrong about was the timing at which we were going to get there. I thought the actual move, at least the continuation of the move after NVDA reported earnings, I thought that would happen in the middle of the day, between the open at like 8:30 Central Time all the way until like 10 a.m. where we get to 19,000, something like this right here, where the whole move is shifted a little bit more to the right. And then this turbulence that I warned you guys about would have happened from that point down. All right, so I was partially right, but again, if you were able to capitalize off of that turbulence, congratulations. Unfortunately, there wasn't an opportunity for anybody who didn't swing long to make some money on the long side with QQQ and the NASDAQ. The only money to be made on that day was to the short side. And right now, we're just going sideways at the moment. There might be a chance that we see a double top on the 1-hour charts. All right, first we got the pullback. We might retest that one again because I don't think the tech stocks are done being bullish yet. I think they have more room to climb higher, and we're gonna dive into those details and everything will make sense for you. All right, so but for the NASDAQ, watch it for a move back up above 19,000 tomorrow. I think it can do it. I really think it can. Now let's look at the VIX, and right now the VIX is at, let's see, VIX. Right now the VIX is still trading between 12 and 13. That little turbulence caused a massive push on Thursday. Friday, it was slowing down a little bit. It's gonna chill out here for a bit. When it's time to really be bearish, I will make another video on the VIX specifically and the overall market, of course, like I always do here, right? But for now, the trend is still bullish. The daily charts on all of the indices are still bullish. Therefore, we're just going to go with that specific trend. Looking at QQQ itself, like the actual ETF, this is it's a bullish harami. It's happening at the top, but with the NASDAQ, it's very, very common to see this, where we see a small doji right next to a bearish engulfing candle. This is called a bullish harami. And what tends to happen after that is a candle that looks like this. So for QQQ, a move up to 463 tomorrow is what I would be expecting. So watch for that move. Now the first stock that y'all should be keeping in your watch list, I'm gonna share one for the bulls and one for the bears. And for the bulls, the stock to watch is Apple. Now I discussed Apple a while ago. About how I was bullish on the stock. One of you asked me a question about it, and I told you guys, do not be surprised with Apple's uptrend. I see it. There is a structure on it that happened. I like it. It broke out right here, and also a pullback to 187 would not surprise me, because that's where the previous level of support is, right here. And it got there perfectly on Thursday, and we saw the rebound on Friday. Okay, so overall, this is not the best behavior, but it is good behavior for the outcome of a bullish pennant. The move up to 195 is still in play. It's still in play. Definitely keep Apple on your watch list for it to open up around this price at 190. Set an alert right at 191, and wait for that to ring. And something to look for is volume that exceeds 5 million. If the volume at the open exceeds 5 million and we see a nice green candle, the odds of a massive continuation would be great. Okay, so Apple is definitely something to keep and watch, especially after crushing earnings. This uptrend isn't over yet. Definitely not over. All right. Now, the next stock that y'all should be keeping in your watch list, this one is for the bears. And that stock is AFRM, which I shared it in the past, and I shared it a little too early. And I did tell y'all in that video that it is a little bit early, and because the structure was a bit narrow, but I was still bearish on it. So I made a previous video on AFRM, and in that video, the structure that I saw at the time, which was a bit sus, which I warned you was a bit sus, was this right here. All right, so I shared the video here after this initial breakdown, and then the next day it immediately went up. All right, but that's fine because overall the structure is still bearish, and you just have to wait for the stock to just stop clicking. This is when the stock is clicking. All right, and when it really breaks below this level of support, that's when the stock actually commits to the downside. And right now the trend is still bearish. It's taking a sweet time. In that first video that I made for you guys, I told y'all watch it for a drop to 27. In today's video, it's still the same. I'm gonna tell you again, watch it for a drop to 27. As long as it doesn't creep up above 31, we're good. It might retest it and play games. All right, how fast is it going to drop to 27? That's hard to say, but the structure is still bearish, right? So as long as it doesn't get above that line, watch it for a drop. The gap on the daily is still there, right here. This is from what, November 27. The gap at 27 is still there, and it hasn't gotten filled yet. Eventually it's gonna get filled, so it's only a matter of time. So it's definitely one to keep on your watch list. Now, y'all asked some questions in the last video. Somebody asked me to look at KBR. So KBR, let's check that one out. There's a few things that I like about it. I'm sure long-term investors really love this stock because of the uptrend that it shows on the charts. This is a bullish stock. This is what you would call a growth stock with an upward trajectory like this. All right, you draw a line right through the movement of the charts. Eventually, like, I wouldn't be surprised to see it get to $75, maybe even $80 next year. All right, it's going to twist and turn, but the trend will be bullish. If you look at the weekly, that's where it's going. All right, so this is a solid company for those of y'all who are long-term investors and like to buy and hold. It looks like, I think the stock also pays dividends, so I'm sure y'all love this one. This right now is chilling at support, therefore watch it for it to continue going higher. I'm not bearish on the stock. It's just the only thing that I don't like about it is the movement intraday, right? The big moves are almost like a shock. Like it's surprising, and you have to really pay close attention to it. But most days are really tiny, and most days are really small. Like, I'm not trading this. I'm not trading this regularly. I'm just answering your question. Eventually, yeah, we will see this at 75 probably next year. But right now, how long is it gonna keep trading like this? I don't know. Therefore, I'm not touching the stock. That's just me though. All right, so I hope that helps. The next one that we're going to look at, we're gonna do an update on the last stocks that I've mentioned. The first one is Marvel, which is what I gave y'all on Wednesday night to watch it for a long. Congratulations to anybody who made money on it, because the stock opens at 76, and the one thing that was missing, I was waiting to take a trade on it. I wanted it to break above 76.6 in the morning and show a green candle that looks like this with massive volume of like 2 million. I didn't see that. What I saw was all of the indices just tanking. So going long on any tech stock was just not an option that specific day. All right, but the opportunity to make money on it, and what I said about the stock happened 24 hours after. Like the move was shifted by 24 hours, which is typical. If you've been watching my channel, you know that sometimes this happened. I'm a little bit early, just like I was on AFRM. It took a few days before actually dropping. And this one, same thing. A bullish pennant formed. The appropriate entry for this one was right here after the breakout, above $75. And the contracts went up by 250% the next day. So congrats if you capitalized off of that move. All right. Now, another thing that we're going to look at NVDA. Because NVIDIA also, there was a day trading opportunity on there for those of y'all who may have seen it. Let me show y'all right now. So this is the Discord, and NVIDIA had earnings, okay, and this is the one at like 11:29. The structure was already cooking. The structure was already there. So the only thing that you had to wait for was the break of 10:51 to take a day trade on it with the 0 DTEs, because those ones were the ones where you would actually get a solid ROI. And there was a chance for it to get to 370, right? And eventually, it broke through it. Right here, it broke through that point, and then just went all the way up to 1057, cooked a little bit, and then showed a bullish pennant about 38 minutes before the market closed right here, before pushing even higher towards 1065. It got to, let's go over here. It got to 1070 in after hours, all right? But the opportunity to make money on NVIDIA was from here to pretty much the close, all right? So is it done yet? No, I think it's gonna continue to go a little bit higher. Obviously, pick your favorite semi stock to make money on, where you can get the best deal or the biggest ROI, because these contracts are a bit expensive. And even with this massive move, with this big move right here, like the 0 DTEs on that day went up by 300%, 400% from here to here. But the contracts for next week only went up by like 25%, which, depending on what your goal is, opinions vary. All right, you may like it, and some people may think it's too small. I think it's too small. The specific trade, the specific opportunity that I gave was for 0 DTEs, and eventually this thing is gonna go up towards 1100, I think. So just keep that in mind, especially if QQQ keep pushing higher. All right, so that's my honest thoughts on all of these stocks, and that is the end of the video. Do not forget to annihilate the like button as always. I make these videos from Sunday to Thursday at exactly 10 p.m. Eastern time. All right, so definitely click on that subscribe button and click on the notification bell. That way you get notified when I release these videos. If you'd like to be part of a private Discord community where you can get all of this information in real time as I see them, you can find that as the first link in the description of the video below. Don't forget to follow me on social media at Paul Nguma and at Patternology Lab on Instagram and on X. And lastly, to get some free stocks with Webull, you can use the third link in the description of the video below. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Patternology Lab, where we trade patterns and patterns only. And I will see all of you in tomorrow night's video.